Hello. Happy Tuesday, everyone, and happy December. Welcome to Live2Lead Live Meet the Speakers. So for those of you who've joined us previously, you've heard from some of these esteemed speakers when we did spotlight interviews a few months ago. And now we've been able to pull this wonderful group of speakers together today as you get ready to enjoy the holidays and before year end, to remind you of this incredible leadership and personal growth event that we have scheduled to bring you incredible value on February 25th in Atlanta, Georgia at Modex Studio. So thanks for joining us today. I cannot wait for you to hear from each of our wonderful speakers who are going to pour into you and honestly share messages with you that will change your life. So everybody, thank you so much for being here today. Who do I have with me? So I've got Miss Dr. Debbie Phillips, and she is a workforce strategies expert. She is the CEO of the Quadrillion. Debbie is a nationally acclaimed speaker and author. Most notably, she was named as one of the 20 most inspiring women by Leaders Magazine and recently was named 2023 Ambassador of the Year by Entryway, which is a nonprofit aimed at ending situational homelessness through careers in the apartment industry. Debbie is also the founder of the Real Estate Career Academy, a nonprofit foundation focusing on creating career awareness and preparing a pipeline for talent in real estate. Debbie, thank you for being here today.
I'm fired up. I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
We've also got Melissa D. White, TEDx speaker and CEO. Melissa is a TEDx and international speaker, author, humanitarian, and global voice, speaking to over 700,000 people in one sitting. Melissa is helping leaders activate their voice at work and in the world. She's the CEO of the Activation Hour, and her message of inclusion, faith, spiritual wellness, and diversity, equity, and inclusion reaches corporations and countries around the world. She is the founder of Righting Our Wrongs, a nonprofit helping youth to advocate through writing and public speaking for anti-bullying and social justice. And she helps people activate their voice for global impact. So honored to have you as well, Melissa. Hello, hello.
Hello, my friend. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. So we've also got Jason Stoughton, and he is a transformative leader with decades of experience across multiple industries, known for his ability to inspire and elevate performance through values-based leadership. From overcoming a dysfunctional upbringing, his story is one of resilience, faith, and triumph. And I was just saying to Jason earlier, I put this incredible video on our Live2Lead landing page. You need to go watch it after this live today. It is such an impactful story of turning your test into your testimony to make a difference in the world and impact the lives of others positively. Jason has also been a part of Maxwell Leadership. Jason worked directly for John Maxwell, served as the Director of Leadership Advancement, and that firm is led by his lifelong mentor, his friend and mine, John C. Maxwell. Jason, I'm so honored to have you here with us today.
The honor is mine. Thank you so much, Stephanie. Looking forward to this more than you know.
Absolutely. Next, we have my dear friend, Rachel Weaver. And Rachel is the CEO of Amplify and Impact. And Rachel helps people to go from unknown to unforgettable through her PR agency and media services. Rachel is also a speaker, an author. She is an event MC and host. She is not only accomplished in her field and absolutely gorgeous to look at, but she is most importantly beautiful on the inside and has become one of my dear friends who I met through a business coach when I became an entrepreneur. Rachel, I'm so honored and thankful to have you here today.
I am so honored to be here, excited for this conversation, and however I can serve, I'm happy to.
Thank you. And last but not least, we have the lovely and accomplished Chikora Connor. Chikora is the CEO of Occupancy Heroes. And Chikora is also a well-known national speaker who motivates others with her inspiring message of how to be resilient and overcome the overwhelm. Chikora was also notably part of a group that was recognized by the White House for her contributions in not only being a woman-owned minority business, but inspiring others to do the same. Chikora, thank you so much for being here with us today and for being part of Live2Lead.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so we've got two of our in-person speakers who weren't able to join us today. Aurea Magari, who is a TEDx speaker, and she is the founder of Living Your Legacy. You'll hear more from Aurea in the coming weeks, where I will do a LinkedIn Live interviewing Aurea. And then last but not least, not with us today, that will be one of our in-person speakers, is Angel Santiago, who is the founder of the ACE Blueprint. You've heard from Angel previously, and we cannot wait for him to join our team on February 20th to inspire and uplift you. All right, so that's who's with me today. And then, of course, yours truly, Stephanie Puryear. So I am your Live2Lead host. I'm also the founder of SPH Services, leading people and teams to success. And my purpose is to focus on helping leaders to increase their influence through transformational leadership, helping them to not only become better leaders, but to build a team of leaders. So we're super excited to have everyone here today. And I've got some questions that I want to start off with, and we'll just kind of go around the room, question by question. And Jason, I was hoping you could kick us off. So could you tell us a little bit, particularly with your background with, working directly within Maxwell Leadership? I was so honored and excited when you said yes to joining us for Live2Lead. Can you tell us a little bit more about your background with Maxwell Leadership and Live2Lead specifically, and why you said yes to being part of our mission to bring people together in a world that divides?
Absolutely. I'd be honored to. In fact, I live on the other side of yes. It gets me in trouble a lot, but I know that if I live on the other side of yes, I'll figure it out. I've got my want to is too big not to figure it out. But it was 1987 when John Maxwell impacted my life. Now, I may not look like a 50-year-old guy, but I am, because in 1987, I was 14 years old, and I was reaching up to touch bottom. I was actually a couple weeks away from a planned suicide, and that's kind of morbid to talk about, but it is the truth. And there's more people than you realize that are struggling with depression and are battling challenges and obstacles that they don't discuss and elaborate on. But 1987, John Maxwell impacted my life when I heard a message on the car radio through some tinny speakers in my mom's 1987 Mercury Cougar. And that day was a turning point for me in so many ways. That one message set the course for me that not only changed my life, but it did save my life that summer. And so you can't walk away from those pivotal peripeteia moments. And that's a Greek word that just means a turning point or an awakening. And I think we all have those in our lives. If we pay attention, they may not be so significant. Like, you see a big burst of light in the sky, or God decides to write it literally on the wall, that of course would be life changing. But we all have these moments where I think we have a intersection with the divine, and if we don't pay attention, we miss it. But for me, it was that one message, it was that one moment, it was that one opportunity and decision that changed the trajectory of everything for me. So I used to drive 12 hours one way to hear John Maxwell speak. I literally would leave Georgia and drive to Texas and then drive back home, because I'm a firm believer that that you can't stop a made up mind. You just can't. When you want change and you want to be changed and you're willing to get close to the fire, you'll do anything that you can to do that. So I understood the power of being in proximity around people that were smarter, that were better, that were more successful, and were heading in the path of life that led towards significance. And that's what we all look for. I mean, we all chase success, but that's not what satisfies. Success doesn't satisfy. What satisfies is significance. And once you taste significance, you realize that success will never fulfill you in the way that you think that it will. So fast forward, I was in a lot of arenas where John was speaking all over the country. In fact, there were a couple times where John would say, "Didn't I just see you in Albuquerque?" Or "Weren't you just in Nashville?" And he even wrote in one of my books back in early 2000 that "Thanks for following me everywhere I go." And he didn't even really know my name, but he just recognized me. And fast forward to 2019, when I had a date with Destiny, I was raising my hand. I'd never missed a Live2Lead. I was at every single one and was certified through the John Maxwell team at that time, Maxwell Leadership Certification now. And I said, "How can I serve?" So I got myself out of the pile and I started serving as a volunteer. And then the next year they asked me to head up all the volunteers that were part of the live event. And then before you know it, after that, I was taken to dinner and asked to join John's team and serve alongside of some unbelievable leaders that have inspired and motivated me and spoke life into me for so many years. And for 5 years, I was actually the one of the people that helped actually set up and oversee John's signature events like Live2Lead. And last year, I got a temporary reprieve. I got a temporary assignment, as Mark Cole calls it, to actually step outside of the enterprise and actually do life with lips and shoe leather and be a river, not a reservoir. And so now I actually help lead a sales team for an organization that I actually looked at as a client at one time. And that's what I'm doing now. But I'm also taking advantage of great opportunities like this to help lead, guide, and direct people and share experientially the life-changing opportunities that come when you put yourself in an environment conducive for change. And growth happens best when it happens in environments with other people.
I love that so much. And you know, as you were telling your story, it's such a great example of what John talks about in terms of getting out of the people pile, right? And you did just that. Like, how can you focus on your unique gifts and show up in a way that people recognize that and what you have to offer and look at what you made happen? So thank you for sharing that story, Jason. And so why did you say yes to me when I asked you to be part of our Live2Lead event?
Because I wanted to be alongside of all these incredible leaders and realize that there's people in the room that were probably like me that need to hear a message that is life-changing and transformative. I said yes because I'm not fulfilled unless I'm in those environments. You know, it's like I said, it's significance, not success. And it's about what you can do for other people that really satisfies the soul. With one trifling exception of life, the world is composed of billions of other people, and that one exception is you. You know, I want to be around billions of other people, and if I can't, I'm going to be around hundreds or thousands of people that want to change. And I think that there's an opportunity when you bring people together with strong values, with like values, like mission, like mindedness, life purpose. A lot of things can change. So I said yes because I know this is going to be a day where people are going to look back a lot like I did in 1987, the backseat of my mom's 1985 Mercury Cougar, and look at that as a day that really transformed everything. So I want to be a part of that moment, and I want to be part of that significance in other people.
I love it. And something else that you said that is a quote from John Maxwell, and I have the magnet on my fridge, so I look at it every day, is be a river, not a reservoir. And that's exactly what you're doing, right? You're continuing to be that river and let it flow through you and sharing that message with others. So excited to have you as part of this esteemed group. All right, I'm going to go to Dr. Debbie next. And Dr. Debbie, we did an interview a while back, but tell us again, like from your perspective, why was it important for you to be part of this incredible event, Live2Lead in February? And how do you see this event shaping leaders who show up and attend?
Well, first of all, I'm honored to be a part of this. And I told you, Stephanie, I showed up because you asked. And I believe in the power of raising your hand. And if you don't ever ask, the answer is always no. So I love to help people. My word is grow. I know Melissa and Jason and Chikora, Rachel, I look forward to getting to know you better. But when you think about what does this day mean, it's a day to refuel. There's not one of us that doesn't need to add to our own tank, but you can't give to others what you don't have. Mm-hmm. And every one of us, Jason said it, we are connected through shared values. We value one another. We value progress. We value the strengths and the gifts of everybody. So the people that are going to join us on February 25th, we all have 20th. Something in common.
20th.
20th.
Just clarify. Yeah.
20th.
Make sure we get the date.
We all want to grow, right? And there's not a person that walks in that door that doesn't need to add to their tank. And if you're listening today, I encourage you to think about what can you get rid of so that you can add greatness back. And you can't fill a cup that's already full. So I ask people to think about, what do you really want to accomplish in 2025? Our purpose needs to outlast our paycheck. When we shift from being purpose-driven and we think about what is our purpose, every one of us, we're under construction. And when we think about our progress, when we think about our purpose, I want us to really help each other. I know I'm always inspired. I mean, you cannot walk out of the room without feeling better with Chikora and Melissa and Jason and Rachel and you, Stephanie. I mean, this is your brainchild. This is you putting your fingerprint on the world. And each of us are joining you to do that. And so I'm honored, but I really want everybody to seriously consider, what do you want to strive for in 2025? I want us to thrive in 2025. I don't want us just to merely survive. We're going to thrive. So everybody that walks in that door, we're going to be thrivers.
I love it, Debbie. And I'm just, again, so honored to have you as part of this event and a mentor and a friend, and just cannot wait. And, leadership and personal growth, it's not a destination, it's a journey, right? We're always growing. And I loved what you said. We all have heard and we know you can't pour from an empty cup, but I also love what you said, that you can't put more into a full cup. So what are you going to get rid of so that you can realign and really be living at your best so that you can give the best to others. I love that so much.
Well, let me just end with this. For every no, we're saying yes to something else.
Mm.
And if you read the work of Greg McCowan in Essentialism, I want us to focus on the power of choice. And I want us to choose better.
Love it.
And that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about our choices, and we're going to help support one another because, and I've already written down something that Jason said today. You can't change a made up mind. And when he said that, I have been guilty of wanting something to change so much. I always say the only person comfortable with change is a wet baby. We all have the opportunity to embrace change. And so that's something that I'm looking forward to hearing from all of our speakers, is looking for that one nugget, because these are things that we probably already know. But the difference in this event and other events is it's going to present an opportunity for us to make a different choice.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, Miss Melissa, I'm going to come to you next. So tell everybody again why it was important to you to say yes and participate in this event. And when we think about, what Jason and Dr. Debbie have already mentioned, and we think about tangible outcomes or transformations, what tangible outcomes or transformations do you hope our attendees will experience as a result of participating and coming on February 20th?
Well, I love what each of them said about the choices when Dr. Debbie talked about choice and Jason sharing the choice to say yes. And as leaders, that's a daily choice. And that's exactly what a calling is. And what I hope to bring to this, in essence of the theme that you put together, bringing people together in a world that divides, is I want to talk about connecting leaders outside of corporate spaces to the community, because that's the essence of why we're called to do this work in the first place. I think it's so important that we find our voices. We know what we sound like as leaders in a boardroom, in a meeting. We know what we sound like as leaders inside the four walls of our organizations. But what do we sound like when we face the communities that we're called to serve? It's something that I've crafted called your vocal DNA. What is your vocal imprint that you're going to leave in the earth that your team echo? Like, we're sitting here, we're quoting John Maxwell because he had a vocal DNA. His work did not stay in the board meetings and in the strategy meetings of what the ideation was of what he wanted to do. He sent that out in the forms of written word and spoken word so that it's timeless. But there's one John Maxwell, but there's also one you. What imprint are you going to leave, leaders? And so that's in essence why you exist and live to lead. And so I'm so thankful that the gift that I'm able to carry in any room is to activate voices. I love nothing more than seeing leaders say the one thing in that room and feel safe enough that they probably wouldn't say anywhere else. Why? Because now they're breaking down the wall of resistance and the things that keep them quiet, to say, hey, I don't have all the answers, but I'm willing to collaborate with community and with my people to find that answer. I think that's one of the missing pieces that we're going to bring together in the room. And that's the tangible thing I hope people walk away with, is the power to be seen, to be heard, and find their unique vocal DNA that goes outside of their organizations into the communities and around the world.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And I love your passion. And every time we've spoken about this and other things that we're collaborating on, how much alignment there is with you living your purpose. And so I am just so incredibly honored to have you participate and pour into others, because the world needs to activate their voice, but they need to be activated by you. And you're such an incredible person to do that, Melissa.
Thank you. Can I share one quick thing? Because you use the
Please.
word purpose, I feel obligated to share this. We throw around the word purpose so freely, and words matter to me. Like they give birth and give life to things. When we don't realize we talk about purpose, what you're saying is that I am called and positioned and poised to do something in the earth. Have you ever stopped to think, Stephanie, and leaders, why we say words like, well, this is my occupation, this is my field? Those words are intentional. If we're saying, hey, my occupation is leadership, that means it's where I'm called to dominate. When you occupy something, that means you take territory. But you can't do that if you don't make a sound and you don't really believe that that's where you're called and planted to be. So we're going to really pay attention to the words we say about our calling, our profession, and our purpose to go out and serve. Thank you so much for this. I'm so excited. I'm ready to go.
I'm excited. And that was beautiful. Thank you so much for that value
Absolutely.
add. All right, Rachel, I'm going to come to you next. So thank you again for saying yes. Tell us again, or tell me again, because I want to hear it. What drew you to Live to Lead? I know you said yes because we're friends and I asked, but beyond that, and thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart. But beyond that, what drew you to be part of Live to Lead? And as the CEO of Amplify and Impact Global, Melissa talked about activating your voice. Can you talk to us a little bit about why it was important for you to participate and how you envision people who come to this event walking away with what we're pouring into them?
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, it's an honor to have been asked to speak at this event and to be here with you, Stephanie, and all of the other incredible leaders that were chosen to speak at this event, to pour into your audience, people that are trusting in you to buy a ticket and attend, hoping that they're going to gain something out of it. Of course, I love and adore you so much, Stephanie. So first and foremost, I want to say, yes, you are the reason that I would initially say yes to anything that you asked of me, regardless of what it was, because I trust you. And I am so excited to really believe that I am leading the way in my purpose. So thank you, Melissa, for saying that. I believe as leaders, we have all seen and experienced ups and downs. We don't become successful without failure. So they come together hand in hand. So I'm going to say, Jason, I didn't start off so easy either, but I knew that I was determined and meant for more. So it did not matter what roadblocks came my way or continued to be thrown at me along this journey. I knew as long as I stayed focused on my vision and stepped up to the plate when God brought my purpose to me each and every time, I would succeed. I would overcome no matter what I was facing. And with that along the way, I learned I can't do it myself. Right? I could not do what I have done in this life alone. And so that brings me to what I'm excited to share with everyone else, speaking about relationships and the importance and power of relationships, the power of proximity, to be able to be in a room full of leaders that are going to be speaking on stage next to me, and the leaders that have chosen to show up in the room, in the audience, because I believe if you're in the audience of a personal or professional development event, you are a leader. You are showing up for yourself first so that you can then turn around and pour into others. You can teach others what you learn. So one of my mentors many years ago taught me, invest, learn, teach. Invest in yourself so you can learn the information to go out and teach the world what you have learned, and you can make the positive impact that God created you to make. And I feel super grateful to have this opportunity, as I do every chance that I can, speak on virtual stage or in-person stage, because I know that my purpose is to share some of my experiences and encourage others to have the strength and courage to show up, start sharing, and lead by example. Because each of us has gone through something individually that has pushed us and catapulted us into that next level of success. It's okay if you're still climbing. We all are. We all should be. I say the day that I stop trying to grow, I'm going to be in the grave. That's really my belief. I'm so hungry for change. I'm so hungry to make that impact. And there's really not much stopping me. And like Jason, I've gotten myself into trouble more than once by showing up and saying yes. But in that showing up and saying yes, I'm showing up for myself first. And there's a lot of things that, they say on the airplane, put your oxygen mask on first before you put the oxygen mask on your child. And because if you're not living whole and healthy, you cannot show up and serve and help other people. You can try. We've all been there as leaders when we're struggling behind the scenes and we're putting on that mask and that pretty face. But that energy inside of us, it transfers. It transfers to our teams. It transfers to our customers, our clients, our audience, and they feel something is not right. And so we as leaders, we have to show up for ourselves first, take care of ourselves, so then we can pour from that full cup, like Dr. Debbie said, rather than that empty cup, and we can build long-lasting relationships. There's lots of studies on relationships. All of us have heard the saying that you become the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. Well, not only has that been proven true through many research studies, but we also know 90% of our success and 90% of our failure is due to the close connected relationships that we have in our life. And so it's important for us to show up for ourselves, because some of the people that we love that are closest to us, our family, our parents, our siblings, they don't understand our level of crazy. They don't understand our level of wanting to be an entrepreneur and seeing those dips that go down and like, what are you doing? Go get a job. No, I am here standing in my purpose, and I will overcome this challenge, and I will climb up. And it's hard for other people unless you're in this leader role. You were chosen to be in this leader role, and you stand up to that leader role as an entrepreneur, as a thought leader, and you lead and you decide for you and those closest around you. I have to stand in this purpose because I know this vision and this impact is greater than me and the closest people around me. It's funny how when you're at the top, they're all like, oh, I knew you could do it. I was like, wait a minute, what's telling me to get a job? But really and truly, we can love them, and we can put those healthy boundaries up to say, I love you and I respect your care for me, because their limitations for you only have to do with themselves. Right? They really only have to do with themselves. Their fear is not because they want to hurt you. They're not trying to hold you back, but their fear is because they think that they want to protect you, because they don't have that crazy, big, bright vision to stand up as the leader that you were chosen to stand up as. So I truly, truly believe who we surround ourselves with, who we are in proximity to, and who we choose. A lot of times I say my closest family is my chosen family, right? Stephanie, you are a sister, right? You know some deep, dark secrets of mine that we're not going to talk about today. But that doesn't mean I don't love my close family. I call them every day. I love them dearly, but I also know their energy is something that I cannot be. When I'm down in business, I can't call them because they're not going to give me the encouraging words. So it's choosing those close relationships and surrounding yourself with people, not only just the good times, but the hard times too, to push you and say, Stephanie, I know you're tired, but get up. You've got a vision to serve. You've got a purpose to be here for you first and for everyone who's needing to hear your message. So excited to be here.
So there's a couple of things that you said, Rachel, that I just want to reiterate. So obviously you're talking about the importance of relationships, and you mentioned who are the 5 people that you're surrounding yourselves with. And, there are 5 people that I'm surrounding myself with right now. So very honored to have these amazing 5 people, not just today, but each of you has made such a positive impact in my life. And I specifically remember the moment I met every single one of you. And it was magical. It was meaningful. And there was, I'm going to use this word again, there was a purposeful connection where I knew this person needs to be in my life. I need to be in their life. There's something here, right? And Rachel, you also mentioned the importance of events and being in the room. Every single person on this virtual stage with me today, I met at a conference, and I remember exactly where I was. And I remember the conversation that I had with each of you. So I couldn't agree more. Showing up and being in the room and being at that conference or event can truly, that one connection can make such a difference in your life for the better and actually help to change the trajectory of your life. All right. So do we still have, yes. Okay, good. Thanks for changing that back, Melissa. So last but not least, speaking of another brilliant woman that I met at a conference. And when we met, we said, okay, I need to know you. First of all, you look fabulous. I love your outfit. Secondly, I love what you had to say, and maybe not in that order, but, hand in hand. And Chikora and I have been saying for a while, we've got to do something together. We know we need to do something together. So here we are. And I'm so honored to have you here, Chikora. So for those of you who've kind of followed this series, you haven't had the blessing of hearing from Chikora yet. So here she is. And I will also be doing another one-on-one spotlight interview with Chikora in the coming weeks, so that you can hear a little bit more about her and specifically what she's going to talk about at Live2Lead. But Chikora, what was it that drew you to participate in Live2Lead? And before you answer that question, I remember this was a couple months ago, but I'd started marketing more heavily this event coming up, in Atlanta. And you reached out to me and said, hey, will you let me know when you're doing this next one? I want to talk about that. And we tossed around the idea of maybe doing this in Charlotte, which is not off the table, but I want to get this one done and want it to be a huge success first. And then I said, well, let's talk about this Atlanta Live2Lead event. And would you be a part of it? So talk to us a little bit more about why you said yes. What was it about this event that you said, I want to be a part of that? And then tell us a little bit more about maybe a leadership principle that has been pivotal to you in your own growth and how you want to encourage others to use that by coming to Live2Lead.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me. I so appreciate the opportunity to be here. Let me tell you, why did I say yes? Because there was no reason to say no. Okay, that is first and foremost. And I'll just say that we know this because I reached out to you, right? I saw the marketing and and I saw this on LinkedIn, and you're scrolling through and you're seeing this and you're seeing that, and there's this thing that stops you. And this stopped me. There was this great pause. I had to stop and I had to read it. I started researching it. Number one, there was people on the panel that I admire, okay, that I have followed, that I have seen grow. And it was just a beautiful thing. And the reason why I reached out and said, hey, I want to be a part of this is because I wanted everyone to see everything. And when I say that, I mean, a lot of what I bring to the table when it comes to leadership, a lot of people don't see, right? Or let me say, a lot of people don't talk about, right? We feel it, but we don't talk about it. And that would be just the realness of it all. And I know we talk about being authentic and all those things, but there is a lot to this. Okay. You see me and you see, okay, well, there's this woman who's done this and done that, but this is a married woman that has been married with her husband. I think I've been married almost 30 years, you guys. Okay.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Happily, let me say that or he'll get me. So happily married, but not just happily married, to an entrepreneur household. We're both entrepreneurs. Okay. So if you know anything about being an entrepreneur, like Rachel said, the ups and the downs and all those different things, I think that it's important for people to understand that there's more to just saying, okay, I want to be married. There's more to saying, okay, well, now I'm with an entrepreneur. You know, you got to look at the compromise. You have to be able to pair with someone who understands, because we came in this thing on different levels. My husband started out as an entrepreneur. When I met him, he was an entrepreneur, so he could understand what I was going through. You're also looking at a woman who has 9 children, right? So that's pretty intense. That's pretty intense to have all of these little people, right, who are not so little anymore, that you have to deal with. And I think that it is so important for people to just get that, because we talk about leadership, but there's leadership within our households, right? There's leadership, again, like Melissa said, in the community. And every leader does not look the same. We don't go through the same challenges, and we face so many different things. So I thought it was important because, to be quite honest with you, I've been to a lot of conferences, and you see people talk about their family, and they're like, well, how did you do it? How did you get to this point? When you're talking to mothers specifically. And, you know, people are speaking about, well, you know, I thank the nanny. The nanny was awesome. And, you know, no, there's so much more to that. There is so much more to that. We have to even thank ourselves, because we play a huge role in this. You know, there's a such thing as the, golly gee, what is it? It is like the invisible manager, right? I don't know if you've heard of that term, but the invisible manager, that person who schedules those appointments, right? That's not getting the compensation except I thank you, mom, you know, who's making the lunches, making sure that the groceries are in the house, scheduling the laundry and different things of that nature. And that takes leadership. And I think that we need to talk about those things, because it is not the easiest thing in the world to have, not even, you know, for those of us who are not married, who may be responsible for a parent, right? Who may be responsible for, you know, holding different committees within their churches or whatever it may be. It's a lot that comes along with that. So I thought that it was really, really important that we see that and we talk about it. One thing that is really important to me is that my children can recognize me no matter wherever I am, whether I'm in the house, I'm at a work event, I'm at a social event. They should be able to recognize who I am at all times. And so I think it's very important that we talk about those things. And I also want to say this, to me, it's so, you know, being here is a beautiful thing, and I so appreciate it. You know, I feel so special to be on this panel.
You are special.
Well, thank you. But I got to be honest, it's not just me pouring into the people, it's me getting information and learning. I mean, just, you know, some of the things that Dr. Debbie said and Rachel and, you know, I mean, you guys have already started pouring into the people, and I'm one of those people. Okay. I'm a person who I focus heavily on just taking care of yourself mentally, physically. That's just, it's so important because I've gone through some things in my life, and we'll talk about that in February. But I got to tell you guys, part of the reason why I'm here and why I think it's so important that others are here is because this is not just us speaking, it's a teachable moment. I'm getting so much already. And, just on a personal note, I'm dealing with a lot today. Right. I mean, I literally, I don't know if y'all saw me, I was kicking off my shoes while I was sitting here, right? Because I literally just walked in, I propped my phone up on my purse, and here I am. But, I'm dealing with personal stuff today. I'm emotional today. I'm dealing with things with my daughter. And as a leader, it does not stop. And we got to talk about how do we get through those things. Right. So this today for me, not even being present in the moment in February, I have already gathered a lot from you guys, and I appreciate that. So thank you. And I know just from this conversation, there's so much that we're going to get from this all together.
So excited. Well, I can't believe it, you guys, but our time together is almost up. So for those of you live in the audience or listening to this recording, you have just heard from some of the most incredible people I know, and gotten a little taste of what you're going to experience live in person on February 20th in Atlanta at Modex Studio. I cannot wait. As I mentioned in the opening, if you weren't here for that, we also have 2 additional in-person speakers, Araya Magari and Angel Santiago. You can go to the landing page, look at their bio, watch some videos. I've got awesome videos from these speakers that I want you to go back and listen to because they're amazing. But in addition to that, so Live2Lead, this is our 11th year for Maxwell Leadership to host Live2Lead. It is my first year as a Live2Lead host, and I could not be more thrilled to be able to do it. But in addition to these amazing in-person speakers that you just heard some highlights from, you are going to hear from the man, John C. Maxwell himself. So as part of my license as a Live2Lead host, I have access and I'm licensed to rebroadcast exclusive content made specifically for Live2Lead. And the theme is bringing people together in a world that divides. So you're going to hear from John Maxwell himself. You are going to hear from John Gordon, who is the author of The Happy Bus. You are going to hear from Shantae Lowe, who is a 4-time Olympian and gold medalist. I got to see her in person in August as she gave her talk that you're going to get to hear. I got to see her in person, got the honor of that, and get my picture taken with her. But I laughed and I cried. It was so inspirational. And last but not least, you're going to get to hear from Michael Jr., who is an author. He's a comedian. He and his wife coach couples using humor to strengthen their relationships. But he helps people to find their purpose through humor. So it is going to be, you guys, such an impactful, incredible day. With that, I want to tell you a few things. We're going to show you a quick video. And I'm offering a holiday coupon. So now through the end of December, if you use the coupon code Christmas 2024, you get an additional $50 off your ticket when you click on that link to purchase tickets. But we're going to show you a quick video so you can see some highlights of these wonderful speakers that you're going to hear from.
John C. Maxwell is a #1 New York Times bestselling author and Horatio Alger Award winner. 4-time Olympian Shantae Lowe is a world record-holding high jumper and gold medalist who has inspired millions with her story on platforms like ESPN and the O Network. Michael Jr. brings laughter and encouragement to audiences all over the world as he inspires audiences to discover and activate their purpose. John Gordon has written 15 bestsellers, including The Energy Bus, The Power of Positive Leadership, and The Carpenter. His clients include several NFL, NBA, and MLB coaches and championship teams. Additional speakers may be international speaker and author Valerie Burton, Chris Robinson, who leads a team of more than 50,000 speakers, trainers, and coaches worldwide, Malcolm Gladwell, who has been called one of the 100 most influential people in the world by Time magazine, or serial entrepreneur and business expert Brandon Dawson.
All right, so there's a little highlight of who you're going to hear from. Jason, I am so sorry your headshot was not in that reel because I'm waiting on the updated reel from my team. But I do want all of you to go to the landing page for Live to Lead, which is leadingpeopleandteamstosuccess.com/Live2Lead. That is where you can find out more about the event. That is where you can register to attend and purchase your tickets using that coupon code Christmas 2024, good through December 31st. And that is where you can go watch videos from our speakers. But I want you guys to make a point to watch Jason's video. It will change your life. My friends, thank you all for taking the time out of your very busy schedules to be here today and share about this exciting event. I love each of you dearly. You inspire me so much with just who you are and how you show up in the world. And we cannot wait to see each of you at Live to Lead. Get your tickets now. Thank you, guys.
Bye.